Hey guys, Mr. Everything here, back with another movie review video, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing Venom. Alright, so for you guys that are new here, how I do my reviews, I'll talk about the cast, the story, give some of my positives, some of my negatives, and then give my score. And also, I do my reviews. This screen you're looking at right now, which is the thumbnail for the video, do not worry, you're not going to be looking at the screen the whole video. I'm going to be adding clips and images from the film, just to add entertainment. But yeah, just jumping into the review. As you guys have probably heard, this movie is not getting the greatest reviews. It's actually getting horrible reviews. I remember when the reviews came out, it kind of dropped all of our anticipation because it was getting such negative reaction. And currently, at the time of this recording, it has a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, not the greatest thing ever. But then there started, not necessarily positive reviews started coming out, but sort of, it kind of shined a light on some of our anticipation. So you started getting reviews saying stuff like, oh, it's not the greatest film ever. You know, it's not by any stretch of the imagination. It's not the greatest film ever, but it's a fun time. It's a fun time. The relationship between Eddie Brock and Venom are good. And that kind of raised my anticipation. You know, that kind of made me say, okay, now I know what I'm kind of expecting. And I saw it yesterday, Thursday, October 4th. And I got to say, I enjoyed it. I had fun, and I'm not the only one saying that. I've been watching a few other reviews, and they're all sort of in agreement. Like, they're all sort of like, hey, this isn't the greatest film ever, but it's a fun time. It has some good moments in it. The humor works for the most part. The look of Venom is pretty good. CGI is not that bad either. You know, it's some story points that don't work. It's kind of slow at the beginning. The villain isn't all that. But overall, it's a pretty good film. That would be my general thoughts, but I guess just jumping into my main pattern of my reviews. So the cast, obviously this film, it stars Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, Riz Ahmed, Jenny Slate. And the story of this film, you guys saw it in the trailer. You got the symbiotes crashing down to Earth. You got the Life Foundation and Carlton Drake doing some shady stuff. And then Eddie Brock, who's a reporter, is obviously investigating them, and he ends up getting one of the symbiotes, known as Venom. And then the story just sort of spins off from there. So I guess jumping into my positives, the Eddie Brock and Venom relationship, like I said at the beginning, really works. It really worked. Like, I really enjoyed the relationship. It was really funny. It was a sort of co-symbiotic relationship, no pun intended. It was very symbiotic, and no pun intended. It worked. It really worked. I really enjoyed it. I like how Venom, he was very much a separate person, whereas in Spider-Man 3, it was sort of like one and one. Whereas this Venom, when he's Venom, he's Venom. It's not Eddie Brock doing this, really. It's mainly Venom doing it. I really liked how they were two separate characters. I really liked their relationship and how he was talking in his head. I really liked Tom Hardy's mannerisms, like how he would be acting weird because he's like, what is this voice of mine? Like, I really enjoyed his performance. Very good performance. Tom Hardy did great. Whereas the other cast members, they did what they could. I mean, that's I guess jumping into my negatives. That's really the only positive. The humor, Tom Hardy and Venom, and the action scenes, and the CGI was pretty good. I really enjoyed I really liked the CGI on Venom. His voice was definitely cleared up a little bit. Like in the trailers, I couldn't really understand what he was saying. It was very mumbled, but in the actual movie, you can actually hear what he's saying better. The CGI on Venom, I thought looked pretty good for the most part. I mean, I guess towards the end of the film, where him and Riot are fighting, it's kind of a little bit too much going on, but I still enjoyed the CGI overall. But yeah, jumping into the negatives, everybody else, they're not that great. I mean, it's not the actor's fault. I mean, Jenny Slate, she plays a scientist. That's all. I mean, she doesn't have any other character development other than that. You got Michelle Williams, who plays his ex-wife, Annie, and yeah, she's kind of wasted too. She's kind of reduced down to your typical ex-girlfriend. Like, she doesn't really do much. And the same thing with Riz Ahmed. He's your typical billionaire, bad guy. Like, oh, I can change the world. Like, and I kind of liked his motivation at the beginning of the film. You kind of understand where he was coming from. Oh, our planet is on the brink of destruction. Human beings are disposable. Oh, we're going to run out of resources. Kind of stuff we're dealing with now in our world. We're going to run out of resources, global warming, etc. But then towards the end of the film, or pretty much throughout the whole film, he's just the same character. He doesn't evolve. He's evil at the beginning of the film, and he ends the same exact way, the same evil bad guy. It's like he's literally your typical villain. And yet again, I'm not blaming this on the actors. Riz Ahmed, he's amazing. I loved him in Rogue One and Nightcrawler. He was in this really good film with Jake Gyllenhaal, Nightcrawler. Michelle Williams obviously is a great actress as well. They just didn't do much with their characters, and the story it's also it has a couple problems. The script, you could tell it felt kind of rushed at points. Not the CGI. Like I said, the CGI looked pretty good. It's just the story felt kind of rushed. And then pairing with that, which isn't really a great thing, Tom Hardy actually came out and said they cut a lot of his favorite scenes out of the movie. And when you watch the movie, you can kind of tell they did cut a lot of stuff out. And yeah, the beginning of the film is also kind of slow. Like for the first hour of the film, you don't really get Venom. Like you just sort of get Eddie Brock, and it's kind of a little bit too slow. Where you're just like, okay, can we get Venom? But yeah, overall, like I said, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was the worst film ever. It has its problems. It's definitely not the greatest comic book film. But yeah, overall, fun film. It very funny at points. I really like the Venom and Eddie Brock. Like I said, when you guys see the film, I feel like you guys are going to enjoy that as well. The relationship between Venom and Eddie Brock, and the comedy, and just everything else doesn't really work. But hey, I enjoyed it personally, so I'm gonna give Venom a C minus. I'm gonna give it a C minus. I was gonna give it like a D or something like that, but hey, I enjoyed it. I think it's a C minus film. I think you guys, even with the negative reviews, just put those off to the side. If you're looking forward to this film, go out and see it. I think you'll enjoy it. But anyway, guys, if you guys saw Venom, comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of it. If you guys haven't seen it, let me know if you guys are gonna go see it, and if you're excited for it. Be sure to like, subscribe if you guys are new. Check out my other movie reviews, and have a great rest of your day. All right, bye, guys.